Right, hello guys. Hope you're all well. Just want to make another teaching video actually. I was on a stream yesterday, and I asked the panel what they believed their purpose is, why they were put on Earth, or why mankind, not specifically them, why mankind was put into the Garden of Eden. Why did God put man on Earth? What is our purpose of being on Earth? And the reason that the panel gave was that man is put on earth to shine light on the darkness and to refute heresies. And so I started asking if there was darkness in the Garden of Eden, and if that's why God put Adam into the garden to shine light on the darkness. And I think everybody knows that obviously God didn't put Adam into the Garden of Eden to shine light on darkness. Since the fall, then we now have to try and get back into the Garden of Eden. And part of the way that we will get back into the Garden of Eden is by shining light on the darkness. But that wasn't the original purpose. That is a subsequence of the fall and not the original purpose. Um, so I wanted to go through some verses with you just to actually show you what our purpose is, why God actually put man into the Garden of Eden. Um, and so I'll go through these verses with you, and we'll talk about them as I go. So the first verse in the Bible that actually shows purpose is Genesis 2:15. I've put all these verses on the screen. I've cut them all so I don't have to switch pages throughout this. But you can look all these up. These I've quoted from the KJV, just cut and paste from the KJV, and this is what I've got. So in Genesis 2:15, and the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. So dressing the earth and to keep the earth. So, planting trees, planting flowers, planting fruit trees, berry bushes, and just keeping, even if it's just grasses, we dress the earth and we keep the earth covered. And basically, we're gardeners in a garden. God didn't make us to be bankers in a bank. He made us to be gardeners, and he put us in a garden. And that's the purpose, for us to protect the earth, to dress and to keep the earth, to bring forth food out of the earth for the animals, for us. And that was our original purpose. And Solomon in Ecclesiastes, he writes in chapter 2, verse 3, I sought in mine heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting mine heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly. Folly's foolishness, silliness, till I might see what was good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. So Solomon was seeking what is good, what men should do, which men should do under the heaven all the days of their life. And this is the wisdom that Solomon then came up with. I made me great works, I builded me houses, I planted me vineyards. Oh wow, planted vineyards, and made me gardens, and orchards, and I planted trees in them, all kind of fruits. I made me pools of water to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. So he did gardening. He built houses for people, for himself and for people, and he grew food, planted trees, and he made sure that the trees had enough water. It's almost as if he knew that God put us into the garden to dress it and to keep it. And Solomon, that's what he did. vineyards, gardens, orchards. He's dressing and keeping the earth. The Isaiah, as a future prophecy, he's talking here, and let's read this out. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord came from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. Plowshares, guys, swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. So obviously I sort of went over it in there, but you've got spears, swords and spears. These are weapons of war, and they get turned into plowshares, which is a gardening tool, and a pruning hook, which is a gardening tool. So when the law of the Lord comes forth from Jerusalem, then we're going to become gardeners. We're not going to be soldiers and warriors. We're going to be peaceful gardeners. Micah actually says pretty much exactly the same thing. It's kind of a repeat. But let's read what Micah says as well. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord of hosts hath spoken it. So what I want people to understand is that in the beginning, when God first put man into the Garden of Eden, the purpose was to garden. Obviously, we fell from that state. We've been fighting with each other for years. We argue and we've got all this chaos going on. But when God restores his order, when for out of Zion shall go forth the law, when the law is coming out of Zion and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So this, I'm going to suppose this is the Messianic age. In the Messianic age, in the future, when order is restored, then we will return to being gardeners. Our purpose has always been to garden. Now, the person that I was speaking to on the panel, if their answer is that man's purpose is to shine light on darkness, then that particular person who has that purpose, he has no purpose in the Garden of Eden before the fall, and he has no purpose in the world to come, in the Messianic age. Therefore, if he has no purpose in the Messianic age, he won't be there. Only people that are going to be following their purpose are going to be there, that have a purpose are going to be there. And so the answer of our purpose being to shine light on darkness was the wrong answer. That's something that we can do now, considering that we have fallen, but that was not our original purpose. It's not our intended purpose, and that's not the purpose that we will have and serve in the world to come. So I want everybody to know that their purpose is to dress and to keep the earth, and that when the Messiah returns, then we're all going to return to being gardeners, and we're all going to return to dressing and keeping the earth. This is how it was meant to be. We're not bankers in a bank. We are gardeners in a garden. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, guys. It's just a short little video, that one, and yeah, God bless you all. If you're new around here, then hit the subscribe button. If you've been here before, then just hit the like. And God bless you all. See you on the next one.